But going back to the Brooklyn Nets, talent-wise, they can keep up in the East. They probably would end up with a lesser seeding at 8 and 10, because right now with the Eastern Conference, we all know that anywhere between 35 and 40 wins can get you better than the 8th seed. It can get you maybe the 6th. All right, but eventually, skill and talent is what's gonna provide a deep playoff push. What I would say is wait it out. Because there are available free agents next year, one of which whom I will actively try to recruit in order to get him over here.
Oh, this ought to be good.
All right. Not many people love him. I, for one, have been overly critical of him at times.
He's going to the Lakers.
And, I mean, I don't care what AJ says over there on that end.
That's where he's going.
Listen. Mr. Durant, listen, all right? It's low risk, high reward.
Oh, please.
It's definitely possible.
Low risk.
Yeah.
Low risk.
Yes.
Listen,
because
man,
the Brooklyn Nets don't come with the same overly inflated expectations
but it's a
that the New York
superstar
Knicks.
headed to New York. Everybody gets those expectations heaped upon them when they come here. This is why recently the superstars haven't been coming here.
You think so?
Yes.
All right. How about this? All right. Let's utilize. How do you feel Darren Williams would have been treated if he played for the New York Knicks as opposed to the Brooklyn Nets?
About the same.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the time, remember, Darren Williams, at that time, he was still one of the very best point guards in the game, at least top 3.
Maybe
but at the time,
I'd say top 5.
Did they not? What happened in the scenario that led to his trade? Was he not coming to blows, not physically, but with Coach Sloan at the time?
Well, no. What I would have said is, or what was made for it to look like, it didn't seem as if he endeared himself not only to the media, but players and fans alike. There were a lot of complaints. I remember seeing a report, whether it's true or not is moot. But it was reported by the Daily News that at one time he had mentioned that the visuals of the Barclays Center, his vision was obscured or something to that extent. We also don't know his habits. You know what I mean? His conditioning levels, things of that nature. These guys do come to new situations and new teams, and they come with all of this pomp and circumstance, and sometimes it's not what you expect.
And here's the thing with KD, right?
All right, I'm listening.
This man is a 2-time NBA champion.
Okay.
Soon to be 3-time NBA champion.
So just hand them the title now, folks. Yeah, great.
Look.
Great. No, continue.
There's no LeBron to stop him anyway.
What do you mean there's no LeBron to stop him?
Because they're not as good. Because they're not going to look across and see the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. I don't see it.
That remains to be seen.
But anyway, we have a guy who has won championships, 2, maybe 3, heading free agency, and he hits either Brooklyn or New York. Let's say that happens.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to expect, because we're not underdogs, remember, we expect the best from our teams because we're spoiled like that. Well,
listen here.
Yankee fans are.
Anyway. All right, go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're going to expect a guy who won a championship on the left coast with the Warriors and was a big part of that, coming to Brooklyn. The Nets fans and New York fans are going to expect him to bring a championship here.
I would tell them to temper their expectations.
They're not going to.
They'd better.
It's New York.
Because, if they haven't learned their lesson as of yet, and, superstars know this,
why they expect it?
Why?
They expected it from Carmelo. He has no championship pedigree to speak of. Didn't get very far in the playoffs throughout his career.
Yeah, well,
they expected it from Stephon Marbury. and
Temper their expectations. Because here's the secret. Here is the secret. All right. And I want everybody to, everybody who's in the New York market, all right, to fully grasp this. Outside of the New York Yankees, okay, the Knicks have not been that great of a team. All right? We love them because we are here in the New York market. We are here in New York City. What?
We love the Knicks?
No. We want to see them do well, so we secretly love them. I don't hate the Knicks. I am a Nets fan. But that does not mean I hate the Knicks. All right? We
All
know
36 of you.
We know. No, there's plenty of them. We're around.
I know who's not around, but go ahead.
Here, let me finish before you chuckle and tear me down. All right. I am a person that wants to see the New York teams do well because I know what it means for the city. I know that it uplifts the the spirit of the casual and Uber fan alike. So it'd be nice to see the Knicks do well again. And just the same way, it'd be nice to see the Nets do well again. However, I have noticed when it comes to the Knicks, because of where they play and their historical significance, because they have won championships before, okay, that the expectations
72.
Yeah, exactly. The expectations that they're looking for when it comes to the New York Knicks, that's beyond everything. The even the most ardent Knick fan right now is maybe in their 40s. I mean, who are we trying to please here? Are we we're trying to please James Dolan?
No,
the clueless owner?
We're trying to appease Spike Lee.
No. Shoot, even look. I listen. Spike the other day. I saw him at the Brooklyn Academy of Music for the anniversary of He Got Game. Shoot,
great movie.
Yeah, fantastic. He may end up becoming a Nets fan soon.
Lies.
Well, why not?
Knock it off.
I mean, he's from Brooklyn, right?
So what?
Dang listen. Look, here it is. Look,
if Spike Lee became a Nets fan,
what?
I may stop watching his movies.
Yeah, please. More sensationalism at its finest, right? Yeah, he's gonna stop watching his movies.
Man.
Can you believe that? What kind of madness? People go right now to the Knicks games for the experience. They're not coming to see them win. They're coming for the experience because it pays. It pays to say, it's a good photo op. Here we are at the Mecca, Madison Square Garden. Oh, there goes Walt Frazier in one of his wonderful suits.
What?
Swishing and dishing.
You know what this sounds like?
What?
It sounds like AB and his underdog complex.
No.
Again.
Hear me out. All right. The media, because we're not media, not just yet anyway. All right. The media is always bullied. The guys on the Knicks who they want, the guys on the Knicks who are, supposed superstars or actual superstars. All right.
So
they've never given Ewing his due. They still don't. They don't give Oakley his due. All right. They've given Allen Houston his due. They've never given Latrell his due.
Well, here's the question.
What?
All right. They have not. Remember, Ewing and Oakley's Knicks of the mid-'90s, they got very close, but they didn't win it.
For me, those guys look okay,
but they didn't win. So
all right, now here's my thing.
Now I give Ewing his due for how many years he put into the Knicks. So how can you actually make the distinction that Ewing was never given his due? Why?
Because of how they unceremoniously dumped him. All right, here's my thing, right? The guys that even made your team something to think about in the first place, because, the players are all relative. That's why there's a players' union, all right? They see this, and they understand that, yes, it's a business, but at the same time, it would endear a lot of the players to come and play for New York if they would see maybe a little bit of solidarity from the media, some solidarity within their own organization. This city seemingly turns on you at the drop of a hat. And that is why players don't come. However, if you go to maybe the Nets, a team that is still looking for an identity because they are in the shadow of the Knicks.
Underdog complex. Go ahead.
Absolutely not. Because we've seen, listen, if you want to compare and contrast, all right, the Nets have been to more championships in the last 15 years.
And lost them both.
All right.
Ignominiously.
But they've been there, all right? But they've been there.
Thank Steven Jackson for that.
Wrong. Thank Jason. Don't be like that. Thank Jason Kidd.
No, I'm talking about the rally that the Spurs made when they beat the Nets in that pivotal game 5
you know
in
what?
San Antonio.
But I mean, and Steven Jackson actually used to play with the Nets, so maybe he had some inside information that, you know. And I mean, and you know, the fact that he's also a talented ball player, you know, that also is.
Why do you think I'm mentioning him?
Yeah, shout out to Steven Jackson, Stack 5 over there, man. Good guy.
Now,
you know? But yeah, going back to what I'm saying, right? If with less tempered expectations, sometimes a player, especially today's quote unquote coddled NBA superstar, maybe with a little bit of less expectation, they can actually play to the ability that they are capable of.
So you want them to, so basically you want media figures to just
lay off of them for a year. Lay off of them for there's nobody that listen, all right, here, because we're about to go to the source. Yeah, as he shakes his head, I'm letting you guys know he's shaking his head. There is literally maybe only one player in the league right now, and we all know who that is, and I'm not even going to mention it because you know who it is, that can change the entire the course of a franchise within in one season. There's only one.
Well, his number is 23.
Yeah, all right. So we're not even going to go there because that topic I've been trying to hammer home to you for maybe about the last 5 years before we even started any of this podcast business.
It's the big mean media.
All right.
No,
it's not
my
that.
Feelings.
All right. Well, so you know what? If you think it's any different. If you think it's any different, you know, try it. But I'm making an impassioned plea for Kevin Durant to come to the Nets, you know.
I'm making an impassioned plea for Kevin Durant.
What, to go to the Lakers?
To go to L.A.
The Clippers or the Lakers?
Either one.
I mean, and you do realize, mind you, and then we're going to go over to the NFL because I know he's champing at the bit. You realize that's just going to provide more fuel for the fire. You know,
like fire.
Because that would be the path of least resistance again if he goes to the Lakers.
Oh,
and they'll flay him alive.
I'm sorry, but I believe it was you, AB, who constantly killed Kevin Durant, called him all types, you know, cut Kevin Durant every which way but loose when he went to Golden State in the first place, and now you're coming
because the same things that him and Draymond almost came to blows about was how I felt at that time. So you can rectify that by going to a team that doesn't, you know, that needs you regardless. Because who's gonna? Because my thing was, who doesn't want a Kevin Durant? That the business aspect of it and the team aspect of it, I understood. From a personal standpoint, it was like, well, you know what? Don't you want to be the man? But I mean, it is a team sport, so that's where I am with that. There's a duality there.
Go to the Lakers. Go to the Lakers, KD. Go to the Lakers and don't look back.
Don't forget, I gotta add because I almost forgot. I said this before we went into production. I am a little biased. I am a Nets fan. You know, I want them to come to the Nets. Average maybe about 35, 37 in the Eastern Conference. And, you know, heck, with him on that team, I mean, he's a scoring machine. You know, like, look, he would definitely be the best player in the Eastern Conference, and you wouldn't have to be in the shadow of LeBron. So, you know, the choice is his.